To start baking sourdough, the first and most important thing is a sourdough starter. We're going to make our own sourdough starter starting today. However, and I can't reiterate this enough, if you can get your hands on an already mature starter donated by a friend or a sourdough baker, please get it. There's nothing better than an already mature starter, plus you get to skip the initial days of trying to make your own. To make our sourdough starter, we're simply mixing equal parts flour and water. Here I have about 50 grams of whole wheat flour, 50 grams of all-purpose flour, so a total of 100 grams. Instead of using whole wheat flour, you can also use rye flour. And then we're going to add equal parts non-chlorinated water. Give it a good mix. Okay, so I'm going to cover this loosely, and I am going to set this aside in a cool corner of my kitchen because it's really warm in Singapore. But if your home is cool, then you set this aside in a warm corner of your kitchen, and we'll go check on this in 24 hours for fermentation activity. Okay, there are two things I want to clarify here. Why use whole grain flours like rye and whole wheat flour to build your starter? And two, why non-chlorinated water? Whole grain flours are rich in lactic acid bacteria. They have minerals and nutrients that yeast and bacteria thrive on. Why non-chlorinated water? Because chlorine, and even worse, chloramine, is designed to kill bacteria in water, which is the exact opposite of what you want when you're building your starter. So what you want to do is use either filtered, boiled, and completely cooled water or bottled water when you're building your starter. Just 24 hours and this is living and breathing and bubbly. I'm going to open it up, discard half of it, and I'm going to feed this with 100 grams of flour. This is a mix of whole wheat and all-purpose flour, the same thing we used yesterday, and 100 grams of non-chlorinated water. We are going to get rid of about half of it, so about 100 grams. And we're going to keep the rest and feed it. How do I tell this is ready? At this point, it smells pleasantly yeasty and acidic. Let's go in with our flour. And 100 grams of water. Bring it together. Cover it up loosely and set it aside in a cool corner of my kitchen again for 12 to 24 hours. Now, there will be instances, especially in cooler climates, where you barely see any activity in here. You may see very light bubbles or no bubbles at all after 24 hours, and that's perfectly normal. You just need to give it time. You know it's ready to be fed when you see bubbles in there, plus you also want to smell it. If it smells tangy and fruity, discard half of it and go ahead and feed it. But if it smells raw, floury, or bland, let it sit for another 12 to 24 hours, check again, smell, look for signs of bubbles, and then feed it. In cooler climates, things generally tend to move slower, and you may not see bubbles until day 3, sometimes even 4. On day 2, if you don't see any visible signs of fermentation, only tiny little bubbles, all you need to do is give it a good mix, incorporate some air in it, and set it aside for another 12 to 24 hours. Check on it again. It's day 3, and only after about 12 hours, my starter is nice and bubbly. It's more than doubled in size. I'm going to feed it now. It's really nice and bubbly just after about 12 hours. I'm going to discard about 100 grams, keep the 100 grams behind, and feed it again with equal amounts of flour and water. So 100 grams of flour, and 100 grams of non-chlorinated water. Give it a good mix and set it aside in a cool corner in my kitchen. I'll check on it this time after about 8 hours. Mind you, yours might vary depending on your weather conditions. Check on it after about 12 to 24 hours each time you feed your starter if it's not growing as fast as mine. Like I mentioned, in cooler climates, your starter will take longer to ferment compared to when you do it in a warm tropical climate. It's only day 3 evening and my starter has doubled up in size in less than 8 hours. It's light and it's bubbly and it's ready to be fed again. Now, in warmer climates like Singapore's, where the internal room temperature is about 28 to 30 degrees, your starter will speed up. If you've got microbes on your hands already and do a lot of fermentation at home already, chances are you're going to get a mature starter very quickly. By about day 5 or 6, I'm expecting my starter to double up in size in about 3 hours. That's when it's ready to be baked with. However, in cooler climates, fermentation takes longer. In cooler weather, you can expect your starter to take up to 2 weeks to mature. Once your starter starts to double up and gets nice and light and bubbly in about 6 hours in cooler weather, you know it's ready to be baked with.